Welcome back, everyone, to session 13 of Curse of Strahd, which, as Chet has already pointed out, is a very well-timed and lined-up session on Halloween Day with a full moon. We have session 13. So, to start, we have Nanaha. I'm sure she's still the Team Heart, although she's not really the Team Light anymore. She's played by Lumi-chan. Nanaha is...
a monk who's confused about herself at this point. Human, too.
We hope.
We hope.
Saya is a genie-packed warlock, water genasi. She is not... She's very cold, is probably the best way to put it. Next
Cold
we have...
Cold as ice.
Oh, it's funny because she does frost damage. Hey.
Bad joke required.
Next we have Raz. Raz is played by Mazegas and is...
a Shadar-kai fighter barbarian who's doing his best to help Nanaha find her inner darkness.
Next we have Pocket Noom, played by Desane. Pocket is...
the Phantom Rogue Tabaxi, who needs to do some more running.
Next we have Team Mom Verity, played by the one and only Mr. Pounce. Verity is...
On Push to Talk, right. Divine Soul Sorcerer, who's really going for more of a support build because this campaign is mean.
Next we have, soon to be the only holy man left in Barovia, Axel Sillison, played by Lennon Marks. Axel is...
a human devotion paladin, and I would say an unwilling revolutionary, but he's a willing revolutionary.
And finally, last but definitely not least, GM extraordinaire Fluffy Snowfall is here to take us away.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
You can't embrace us like this. Don't do this to me.
Previously in Barovia, the party had a bit of an encounter in the basement of the Wizard of Wines with some mysterious orbs of light that unfortunately cut down the party's monk Nanaha. But due to some mysterious circumstances, she finds herself waking up from what was almost certainly a final end. However, she seems changed based on the experience. The party took some much-needed time to rest and help rebuild and refortify the winery for the Martikovs to be able to resume their family business. A shipment of wine was sent in good faith to the village of Kresk, with the party's best wishes and hopefully their ticket into the walled-off village. We ended with the decision to head down to the stronghold of the druidic forces in Barovia, the place known as Yester Hill, and we begin our journey now.
So, where are we at the moment?
You are currently still about to leave the Wizards of Wine.
How far away is Yesterhill?
It is about 4 miles away.
Okay, guys, I don't think you're gonna like this, but I think we should try to leave Granite here, leave the horse. Because we're about to go against a bunch of druids, and Horse is a big boy. And if they convince him not to like us, he can pretty much squish us. Just saying.
Well, you certainly understand animals better than I do, so... Hi, Thorgrim.
Thoughts?
Roz will look at the horse and look at everyone else. Be less squishy.
And I think maybe we should go hiking.
It
mean,
might let us approach their encampment from the woods as well instead of the road. Maybe beneficial.
At the mention of hiking, I'll go over to Axel and explain the dream that I had and being told by the druid to find the path.
We think assaulting druids through a forest would be better than walking on the road. It does not seem wise to me.
Agreed.
I don't know that fighting anything here anywhere is wise.
That's a fair point. Well, we could at least take the cart somewhere closer and stash him. Just save us some time. This is probably going to be not a simple fight. I don't want to be tired from walking half a day.
4 miles, that's what, an hour? Psst, you can walk that easily.
Wait, is it
My
a
worry is there's also that ghostly horseman person about here, and if we just leave our horse randomly somewhere, I don't know what's going to go on with that.
That's fair.
Yeah, Axel, it is 4.
Okay,
the hill from here.
I think I heard 4 hours, not 4 miles. That's my bad.
No worries.
Yeah, 4 miles we can walk. Let's go.
I mean, Pocket can get there in 5 minutes, but I don't think he wants to run that far ahead.
Yeah, please no.
Is Pocket going to run up, kill all the things before we even get there? I like this plan. Good job, Pocket. Way to go.
No.
Are you saying you can't run up there and kill everything before we get there?
Listen. I can make it there right now if I wanted to. All right, but I figure that you guys at least want some of the action because you guys actually like this hero fighting stuff.
Is Nanaha...
Unless
It's a quick question. Is Nanaha actually laughing in character?
Yes. Trying to have a little humor.
Good.
He is quite the adept warrior when he wants to be, but if you shoot through my horns again, I will shave you in your sleep.
And you're the good guys?
I never said that. And I think this is also the first time anyone has ever referred to me as a hero.
Sai is going to raise hand. Same here.
I always thought I was. Shrugs.
I mean,
I've been called a lot of things, but hero is definitely not one of them.
we're all the heroes of our own story, right?
You saved the house. You stopped druids from ruining someone's house. I guess, murdered some holy man's son with the idea that it would save other people. And we got kicked out of a town trying to save some random guy. So I assumed we were trying to play the hero role here.
To be fair, the priest's son was already dead when he was drunk. What was left was not his son anymore. Just you puppeting him around.
Right, so we're leaving the horse here then.
Yes, so we don't get trampled.
Irina, do you mind keeping an eye on horse and cart while we're gone? Because she said she was going to stay, if I recall.
Yeah, that is fine. She just kind of stands there awkwardly like a third wheel at the back at the back of the group. Yes, that would be fine. Just please be careful.
I will try my best.
she did. She was the one who elected to stay behind, though, right?
Yes.
She is, yes.
Despite
Despite all of your misgivings, you have done more good here than most have attempted.
Gonna
Oh,
showcase Irina a minute and look at the group. See?
all we can do is attempt. Whether or not we succeed is up to us.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Once heard a little green man say that. Think he was a
You
goblin.
I was gonna say there's not a lot of green men around, I didn't think.
I mean, hey,
Did-
I'm
did-
blue and I'm here, so you never know.
Did he look like an old halfling?
Well, I mean, really small and green, big pointy ears. I would have assumed goblin.
Hi, Zan.
Sounds like a goblin.
So while they're having this really weird conversation about old halflings, Verity's kind of like doing that sort of like side. What is the thing where you do like the side shuffle to like sort of inch away from people?
Sidle.
She's kind of sidling away from the group, like kind of inching a little bit closer to Irina.
Oh, Verity, what's up? Do you have something you need to discuss before you leave?
Yes. No. We'll be back. Yes. We'll be back. And she shoves a piece of paper into her hands and that's kind of like, Zoidberg's back towards the group.
She awkwardly looks at the paper.
Oh, you're not supposed to do it right now. Fuck. All right, hang on.
Oh, it's fine. You can relay it later when you all come back.
No, it's fine. It's just I was hoping she wouldn't because it's embarrassing, but hang on. All right.
I just now envision Verity doing hand crabs and just kind of sidestepping away from
I'm just kind of imagining
exactly
it's a mostly blank piece of parchment that says, "Do you like me?" Check
Square.
Y or yes.
Close, but there we go.
Oh.
I figured the contents of the note would not be visible, but what was inside it would be to other people. I can't believe that worked correctly. Nice. I figured out roll 20.
Da 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 da.
You hear some. You hear like a little surprised squeak, but that's about it. She waves you all off as you begin to head off towards your journey.
While we head off, I will follow my dreams, haha, and look for a path. Still sticking within 30 feet of the group.
All right. Roll a survival check, please. Heading back out towards the main road of the of the valley, you see where it kind of branches off around kind of a Y intersection. You find your way heading through the woods, through a path through the woods. It is kind of dreary and gray. About a mile or so into your travel, you see several tracks in the dusty, somewhat muddy ground. You find various woven paw prints, and you see some heavy boot prints as well. For some reason, you look at that and you seem to understand that there seems to have been a recent scuffle at around this point. You're not sure who was attacking who, but you are able to discern that the tracks head somewhat into the woods.
Do the wolf tracks head into the woods, or Or is it the other footprints that do? Like
All
like
of them
like
head
this?
into the woods. With your high roll, you do see that the prints from the wolves seem to be more fleeing than aggressing.
I'll relay to the group. And does this path, or at least the direction of the tracks, parallel where we're going?
It kind of goes perpendicular to the road you're following.
I will give the information to the group and see what they do with it, because I won't be traveling off alone. Do we want to know what's at the other end of these tracks?
It was wolf tracks and boots, you said, fighting? Or like they looked like they were scuffling?
Yeah, and there was multiple wolf paw prints, but there was only one set of boot prints, and they were rather heavy pressed into the ground.
Doesn't sound like our druids. Unless they were the wolves.
Which, based on the information you guys said last or a few days ago, it could be. But it also would seem odd to me if the most straightforward path just led right into this druid circle and that was it. Why wouldn't they keep it a secret?
I am personally afraid to go into the woods after druids. Just saying.
And I'm afraid to go into people's houses.
How doomed we all are.
Well, I think the question is more, do we take this path into the woods into an unknown, or just take the path that we know goes to Yester Hill and the druids that we are supposed to remove?
It's probably a shot in the dark, but is the path of the like the footprints, are they going at least in the same general direction as the way we need to go, or?
So right now you all are on the main road, or an offshoot of it. It's kind of a dirt path. The footprints go perpendicular to this dirt path off into the forest proper.
How about we go see Yesterhill? I will just remember where this spot is, and hopefully someone doesn't come clean up their tracks. And I'll look for other landmarks to help give me a distance to this spot. How far it is from the Marchkov winery, or mark a tree with my claws, just to give a general this is where this is.
X marks the spot.
Seeing Pocket looking for landmarks, Axel's going to take 3 or 4 steps, go 10 feet down the path that that Pocket pointed out, and plant one of his javelins in the ground there.
Okay.
You do realize that if someone comes, they can just pull the javelin out, right? Scratching on the tree would be much more difficult to remove.
Well, I suppose if someone takes the javelin, then we know we have someone intelligent and not just regular wolves.
There you go.
Pocket's got it.
¿Por qué no los dos?
All right. You mark off on your... Well, you mark off on some of the trees and leave a javelin. And you continue down on your way. About a mile down the road, you see... Pocket, you see another or a trail, It seems to cut through some of the wilderness. It does branch off, and from what you can see, it heads towards the direction you're going to.
How far off?
So you see it kind of snake off. It was about another mile down. You see it snake off into. You see it snake off of the main dirt path you're going to, and you see it is heading. Eventually, it heads parallel to where you're going.
Considering, and I think I only flew by once, so I'm fine with vague information here. But if this path leads to Yesterhill, does this look like it heads? This secondary path look like it heads more south into the bulk of the forest?
Excuse me. Yes, it does. Let me know if you see the little... Yep, there it is. I drew kind of a little marker, like where you see the path starts heading.
Something tells me we're going to need to find something hidden and not just walk into this big hill. Scratch and mark a few more trees just to remember the spot and follow along the group.
As
you
we're
mentioned this path?
Yeah, to whoever's nearby.
As we're traveling here as well, I relayed the emeralds that I'm looking for those emeralds for the Martikovs that they were, one was stolen by the druids.
Sounds like a plan.
Good to hear. One thing of note, Pocket, that this foot trail, you do see that it doesn't really have as much... It doesn't seem to have had as much traffic, and it's much smaller.
Pocket, if this path goes there, maybe it would work.
But also, I kind of agree with the group that we should head towards at least one thing that we know and remove that as an option. And then heading into the woods is secondary.
Okay.
Right. The rest of your journey goes rather uneventful. And you see, kind of branching off, you see this large hill as the tree line begins to start branching apart. There's a little bit more of the filtered light coming through as it is not blocked out by the tree branches.
Waiting for the maps to fully render
No,
is
no,
always funny.
Yes?
You, Pocket, and Roz, as you get closer to the hill, you hear a whispering on the winds. By day or night, stretching up the limits of vision, the edges of my realm are marked by a great wall of mist. I was there at its birth.
Reflex, hide behind Axel.
Reflex, hide behind a tree.
Reflex, draw weaponry.
The rest of you see half of your party acting in a strange manner.
Get out of sight!
Hearing Nanaha, Axel, also hearing Nanaha and having Pocket doing his 6'8" crouched behind me, cowering. Axel will head over into the tree line.
Feel free to move your tokens. I will let you know that this map is bloody enormous, so that is why y'all are so tiny.
Is each square 10 feet, 20 feet?
They look like
Each
they're
square is
tiny.
25 feet. If we need to
That's
get
a
into
weird
tactical,
breakdown.
if we get into tactical combat, I have another map where it's in 5-foot intervals.
I'm a fan of this map. I'm a fan of just the sheer scope of it. It's a little daunting, which is fitting.
And it's not inside.
Yay!
Finally, run.
The casters are like, hey, maybe we won't be in melee.
That's what I said last week. I said if Verity dies, I'm coming back as another character who's just like the meleeest melee that ever meleeed in a melee.
Can I actually discern the location of the voices other than just hearing what I assume is just a chanting and continuing of a ritual that we know is supposed to be happening?
Also,
That
does the
is-
voice sound familiar?
The voice does sound familiar. It sounds like Strahd, but at a whisper. The voice is directionless, as if it is just coming from inside your mind.
Shit, I think the head vampire is here.
Roz, after a few moments, you hear another whisper. A deep voice carried on by the wind. Long have I waited for one who is worthy. My spear hungers for blood. Retrieve it and rule these mountains in my stead. Just like the mighty warriors from the early days of the Whispering Wall. Only you are worthy.
Is Roz actually walking out?
Oh, absolutely. He's just like walking down the path, just stalking forward while everyone else is in the woods.
Yeah, Roz, the voice that you heard there, never heard before.
Stop, look around to see if there's like something.
Right now, all you see is kind of a dark, ominous cloud cover gathering above. You see a bolt of lightning striking the hilltop. West of the hill, you see a thick, almost opaque wall of fog. You also see dirt trails running along 2 concentric rings that encircle the hillside. Peppered throughout them are various cairns of a 10-foot high mound of slimy black rocks. You feel a particular pull towards the west.
He will head west then. He's been guided by his ancestors before. Maybe this is one of them.
Pocket's gonna loud whisper, Roz, get back here! Get back here right now!
If you see the cairn in specific that I have circled, that is the one that seems to be calling to you.
He will continue to circle around the lower edge near the forest, ignoring Pocket's whispers until he gets
All
there.
right. Roll me a stealth check if you can.
So Saya would be shadowing him from the tree edges, mostly so she can provide covering fire if needed. Would you also like a
It
stealth?
makes sense because he's not even trying to be stealthy. He's just walking.
Sure, 1 second. You make your way rather unstealthily through the black rock mounds that pepper the hillside. The only real sound you hear is the blowing of the wind and the occasional crack of lightning. You make your way to the site where you were particularly drawn to. It seems that there's something waiting for you there.
Does this cairn have any sort of markings?
No, they are all the same at this point.
Is
No
it
particular marking.
Is it a single slab? Lots of loose rocks?
Lots of loose rocks.
I'm gonna try to watch our flank to see if people are like coming up behind us.
He doesn't just start digging in, instead kind of motions for the rest of the group.
I don't know how it comes up.
Pocket, are you trying to watch for things?
Correct.
All right, roll perception, please. You don't see anything other than the fact that you notice that the cloud cover above is getting much darker. And you hear the whooshing sound of a rain front coming through.
Yeah.
Beyond the voice we heard initially, a second called out to me, and I feel drawn to this spot. Does anyone have a reason why I should not disrupt it?
No.
Axel is going to use his divine sense real quick, just to make sure that it's not like super demon.
Sure. You reach out, kind of reaching out to your patron, and there seems to be nothing undead or fiendish or celestial triggering in the area.
Hey, I'm not undead.
No reason I can see not to tip it over, Roz.
I have a ton of reason, but
All right.
I don't think it matters.
What are your reasons?
Everything we come in contact with seems to release something worse.
Roz will casually kick over a couple of rocks just to see if anything comes out.
Wins.
All right, you kick a few rocks, and you hear kind of a wet, moldy, wet, squishy sound as some insects are scurrying out of their little hidey hole. Unceremoniously, you see a pile of old, kind of mildewy, moldy bones at this point from just being trapped under the moisture. However, you see a pointed object in there. At first you think it's just another stone, but you see almost what looks like a crude metal working comes to a point of some sort.
He tries his best to pull it out.
As you do, the pile of rocks that kind of make this burial cairn collapse around you. Another bolt of lightning hits the top of the hill. And you remove a rusty colored beer.
A beer?
A spear.
Oh, a spear.
Spear.
Okay.
It did sound like beer.
Sorry. I have
No
a
worries.
cold.
That's fine too. I'm just like, yeah, age-old pale ale, my favorite.
You.
Oh, He will kind of test the weight a little bit, do some jabs, off into the distance kind of thing.
It feels very well balanced. And as you remove the spear, you hear the voice again. Go forth, my chosen warrior. Lead the lands to a better future. You feel the weapon in your hands particularly very balanced. You feel kind of a magic radiating off of it.
He stows his rapier and kind of holds it, balances it. This feels like it was meant for my hand.
Go ahead.
And he kind of stows it up with his javelins, because where else are you going to hold a spear, really? You can go.
All right. So you do feel that there's a level of power emanating from this spear, but it would require you to tune to it to unlock it.
How long does that take?
About an hour.
I do not know if we have the time it takes for me to truly feel like this weapon is a part of me. So we can move on, or we can not. Your choice.
Is the are we still hearing Strahd like whisper?
Nope.
Just to make sure I have the timeline right, it was 2 days ago that we were told that the boss would be here in 3 days, right? So it would be tomorrow that the champion shows?
Yes.
Based on
That
the
is
timeline
correct,
that we have?
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we can do is we could have Roz try to work with the spear, just kind of hang out in the tree line, and the stealthier people of the group could go over and investigate the source of the chanting.
Sounds like a great job for you, Nanaha.
So chanting implies that it would be continuous. This was just something you heard, and it was barely audible in your heads.
Okay.
And it was only the three of you in particular who heard it.
You guys keep talking about voices, but I've not heard anything.
Yes, neither have I.
Okay, I'm confused. Sometimes I hear voices, and then sometimes you guys hear things that I can also I'm so confused.
If it were just me, I'd have just assumed it was a side effect.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure Raz isn't going to lie to us about hearing voices, so I'm sure you guys are hearing stuff, but, yeah.
Wait, you think I'd lie about hearing voices?
Hmm.
If anyone is interested, you could potentially roll an Arcana, or maybe even a religion check to see if you care about discerning what might have gone on.
Can I roll it if I'm not proficient?
No, you would have to be proficient for this.
Then I can't do anything.
What might have... Do you mean in regards to them hearing voices, or in regards to the ritual that's happening?
The voices.
And you said it was Arcana what? And...
Arcana or religion.
Or, okay, alright. Yeah!
Verity thinks you're all insane.
Yeah, Verity, there's really no logical reason for this. If they were hearing voices, then it is probably the stress of the situation getting to them, leading to some sort of communal groupthink.
Thank you for at least trying to frame it in her mindset.
Sounded very Verity to me.
Axel, Saya, and Roz, you do know that there is the potential for for powerful individuals to leave a mark upon the land, and those whose souls may be harmonious with that echo may pick up on them.
Well, I'm not too worried about it. This place is full of many other things to worry about. So we're sending Pocket and Nanaha to do some scouting?
What?
Yes, Pocket, you're stealthy too. Don't deny it. Also, wouldn't it suck if I just outright died again?
Okay, fine.
But given, obviously, be careful out there scouting and let us know if you see anything. But I think we should have time to take the hour needed for Roz to get comfortable with his weapon if we just sit back in the trees here.
Okay.
I mean, we could
No,
just
go ahead.
send Pocket alone. He can fly.
True.
Well, I was considering the same thing before we started coming on this path, but it occurs to me that we've said that druids can become animals, and the Markovs are also capable of becoming animals, and if the druids know that, they might be looking for ravens.
mean,
I don't want to
given-
be shot out of the sky.
That's totally fair. Although, given that we're standing basically on their home turf and we haven't been welcomed yet, I don't know that they're necessarily looking.
I'll look up to see if there's other, like if there's other birds flying about to ease the idea and make it seem more plausible to me.
Sure. Do you want to go ahead alone, or do you want to go on foot?
Well, I'm just staying on the ground first and seeing if there are other birds around, or if the storm and the situation has, like, there's just the people that are here.
Roll perception. You don't really see anything, but that doesn't strike you as incredibly odd, since there is a pretty strong wind blowing about right now, and the periodic clap of lightning in the area and the dark clouds would probably drive off most wildlife.
And then I'll grab Nanaha's arm and just stand there expecting them.
Alright, let's try to sneak, be quiet, and get a good view of what's going on around here. Find their champion, maybe.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a set of stealth checks then. Okay, good for consistency, guys. Good job.
We're on the same page.
Exactly. Which way do you want to start going? Do you want to head through the path? Do you want to head around the hill?
I was thinking heading around the base of the hill and try to find where there's things moving about.
Okay.
I'll follow.
So do you want to head southwest, or do you want to go the eastern way around?
Southwest sounds good to me.
Okay. Feel free to start moving your little token guys. It will take you a little bit because the base of the hill is... It's going to be about 500 some feet. Yeah, it'll be about 1,000 feet to get to the other side if you go around the base.
Considering,
okay, let's go up a little bit then.
Gotcha. Considering Nanaha's shorter than me, and no, it doesn't even matter. But I'll stay lower on the hill, just so that my tallness isn't a dead giveaway.
Sure. All right. You continue your way down around the hill. As you get a little closer to the western side of the base, you see almost parting in the thick curtain of fog. There seems to be a white fortress on a hill above a rather large metropolitan area. The city appears to be a little distant, maybe a mile or so away past the fog. The fog itself kind of obscures most of the detail, but you can hear almost what sounds like the echo of a church bell reverberating through it.
Thinking, not saying, please no more dead priests.
So there is a structure on the top of the hill, not the rocks like we're seeing here.
So you just see the rocks. What I'm saying is to the west there, or to the west from where you guys are, do you see that giant, like, just wall of fog?
Yes, gotcha.
Yes, you see a structure through that giant wall of fog.
Got it.
Yeah, the angle of the hill where you guys are standing, it's a bit steeper. So you can't really see anything past the rocks, the rock wall that you see up at the top here.
Well, still following Nanaha, but realizing that perhaps get a good vantage point would make sense. I will try to sneak closer to the top of the hill.
Okay. As you guys get to the top of the hill, you see a rather large rock wall, probably a good 20 feet tall, of just stones forming around a circle around the top of the hill.
To reduce the chance of, say, my rapier scraping against the wall, I'll hand Nanaha my rapier and say, hold on. And with my 20-foot climbing speed, climb slowly to the top of the wall and see if I can look over.
Okay. Alright. You look over, Pocket, and about this point, you see, for one, a bolt of lightning striking where you're standing, but on the opposite side of the circle. As it strikes the stone wall, you see the electricity kind of dissipating through the rocks into the ground. With the lightning strike, you see a enormous statue made of tightly woven twigs and packed with black earth, clay, and earth. The statue resembles a towering man in a cloak.
Any distinguishing features about him?
You can't really see from this side because you're looking at the back of it from where you are perched.
Are there any people in here?
No, there are not. It's very strange that you haven't encountered anyone yet.
Well, then, with the little bit of height that I have, take a look around and see if there are, well, druids are being really the only thing that I'm looking for.
Okay, roll perception then. you don't really see much as you look around. The lightning strikes keep drawing your gaze away as each bolt seems to get closer.
Slowly climb down.
I'm gonna need you to make a
Oh, shit.
dexterity saving throw. I forget, do you have evasion yet or not?
No, I do not.
Okay. You take 15 points of lightning damage as
Yeah.
your cat-like reflexes are able to push you away from the stone wall, but the blast of lightning still gets the better of you, and you are knocked backwards.
Okay. Try to shake it off with static charged fur, I'm sure. Get the rapier back from Nanaha and just explain that there's a giant statue and obviously lots of lightning, and it's just a big man in a cloak. But there's nobody in the circle.
Okay, that's a little strange to put it lightly. Maybe go a little
Yeah,
further down.
Nanaha, as you're standing here, you do see the lightning every minute or so strike a spot on this black wall of rocks.
Yeah, not touching that. Does Nanaha at least see the tree line ahead of us?
You do. You see this grove of trees to the south?
Let's do a little bit more investigating, and then worst case scenario, if there's still no people around, just run back.
Investigating hurts.
I've noticed Pat's head.
Gonna give the wall a wide berth.
Good choice.
Good idea. As you make your way down to the southernmost little patch of trees on this hill, you see most of the trees here look like they are long dead. Their leaves turning various shades of brown and falling off. You do see, however, some movement in the tree line as you see humanoid shapes lingering, moving about, keeping to the stack of dead trees. In the center of this small grove, you see a large misshapen tree in the center here. Something that you notice is that periodically you'll see blood dripping out of the trunk of the tree and forming a puddle around it. At this point, you see a small, twiggy-like entity clambering out of the blood and joining the others shuffling around in the tree line.
I think we found the source.
Of where the little shooty arrow guys are.
Yeah. I think we should head back and tell the group.
I like your plan.
We see about how many creatures are running around, right?
You see about a dozen right now that you can see for certain.
Okay. Time to scuttle back.
Alright, I need y'all to make me another stealth check as you head back.
I disappear.
Whoosh. You are able to make it back to the group. At about this time, I would
Yum.
back in your little area hanging out.
Hey, Fluffy's back.
I was gonna say, I think we lost her for a second.
Sorry, it seems like there was an internet hiccup. I was just saying, by about the time that Pocket and Nanaha get back, it's almost been the hour that Roz needed. Because there was a lot of ground to track, and if they're being stealthy, they had to keep to hiding behind the various cairns. What has everyone else been doing while the other two have been scouting?
Axel probably just keeping watch.
Okay. Alright, sounds good. Anyone else have anything that they did?
Just a small conversation between Verity and Axel, where she compliments him on his expert use of magic in cleansing the poison from the wine, the vats of wine. She thought that was a very inventive solution.
It's I think my magic is maybe a little different than yours. I don't know that it was clever so much as I don't know. Just I'm able to ask and receive.
Well, she meant more how that like he was able to like prepare his spells differently. That how he can like choose and stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I would discuss that in character, but yeah, like I imagine we could have a conversation about the mechanics of magic, or of how we cast.
Oh yeah, it's totally foreign to her because she doesn't understand it like regular casters do. Because hers is just on all the time, and she basically is like holding it in to make sure it doesn't go off and like accidentally kill everything around her.
And Saya's just like, this is all very strange. I just ask and get.
Y'all have your little metaphysical discussion, and it's about this time you see Nanaha and Pocket coming back. You notice that Pocket looks a little singed, and like his fur is still sticking up at all weird angles.
Pocket, what happened to you?
Same thing that's happening to the hill up there.
Why did you get yourself struck by lightning?
I didn't ask to be struck by lightning. Apparently, the hill doesn't like it when you climb up the wall and try to get information.
Did you get any information?
Listen, okay. All right. There was no one in the circle, but there's this statue with a guy in a really big cloak. And then Nanaha found this little forest with a bunch of little tree guys that we saw before.
But no druids, just the twig monsters?
As far as I saw.
There were at least a dozen of those twig monsters, and they were coming out of a tree that was bleeding.
Bleeding sap or bleeding blood?
Blood.
Highly abnormal.
Just a bit. Very creepy. Kind of look like maggots coming out of a wound. Not fun.
When you say there was no druids, were there no human druids, or did you see any small animals or anything of that nature as well?
Did she?
No, you did not.
Could be just guarding whatever the heck they're after.
I mean, it sounds like a lead. If the druids care about this thing, if we destroy it, they'll definitely show up.
By
If
all means,
anybody
you
knows
go in
any
first.
Fire, that'd be great. I'd love to set fire to whatever the hell that is. It's creepy.
Sire wrinkles her
she
nose
shuddered.
at the sound of fire.
Between the tree and the Vicar Man, sounds like we could use a lot of fire.
Sadly, the best I could do is make it look like it's on fire, but that's about it.
Roz, at this point, you have been able to attune to the spear.
Okay.
Did you have an opportunity to look at the handout when it popped up?
I did.
Okay,
And I've already added the text into Roll20.
perfect. So yes, the only all of the functions of the spear work for you. If anyone else tries to wield it, they will only get the temporary hit point option from it. But you get the magical attack, damage, and special ability.
Spiffy.
So it sounds like the people that we're looking for aren't actually here, just their work is. Do we want to fan out and set fire to the statue and the bleeding tree, or do we want... It seems like if the druids were anywhere, maybe they'd be down that the path that we passed, like more like off to the side in the woods somewhere, maybe.
I think it would be a hell of a lot of fun to destroy whatever the heck they're working on and not have to deal with them. That's my opinion, though.
Can you guys roll me a perception check, everybody?
Frick.
I'm too offended by fire being the answer.
Don't see shit, boss!
Verity is too distracted thinking about the metaphysical, magical discussion that they had previously
Oh, thank you.
to really
thought
be
you were
paying
gonna-
attention.
I thought you were gonna say distracted by like arena, and I'm like, that's cheap shot. But thank you.
No.
Oh, I would have loved that low blow.
That's if we get closer.
Axel, you do see something in the air hovering above the tree line, or flying over the tree line towards the hill.
What do I see, or what does it look like?
From what you can see right now, it looks like a large... It almost looks like a large upside-down skull.
Axel just points to this thing. I think we've maybe got company.
Is it coming at us?
It's flying towards the center of the hill.
It's a shame I didn't have fire. I could have done this before they got back.
Well, we probably shouldn't just let this happen without us paying attention.
Roz just kind of shrugs and begins heading in that direction.
Keeping an eye to see if the skull gets struck by lightning.
Fan out. We shouldn't have multiple people getting hit by lightning bolts if the worst happens.
You know, if this place wasn't so fucking terrifying, Roz would actually look kind of cool right now.
Oh, before everybody fans out, I would like to have Verity cast Aid on herself, Nanaha, and I think Pocket has the next lowest HP.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what that does, but all right.
We'll cast it upcast it at 3rd level, so you all have 10 more hit points and 10 more maximum hit points for the next 8 hours.
Yep.
So we heal 10 and then get 10 temporary additional.
No,
It's
they're
not-
actual they're real hit points. They're just
Yeah.
they only last 8 hours.
Yep. So yeah, you guys have your max HP is increased by 10. And then you get the 10 as part of that.
Got it.
Thank you so very much. Also, Pocket, why weren't you healing while we were talking?
It wasn't enough for a
Wasn't
short
an hour.
rest.
Damn.
You guys could take the short rest if you wanted, but
I think the flying skull kind of screwed that.
Roz continues to push up the hill.
all right. As you guys make your way up towards the top of the hill, you see the flying skull start to move away from the center. It seems to have taken notice of you.
How far is it from us?
It is currently hovering about... From you guys, it's hovering about, I'd say, 200 feet in
Rather-
the air
Okay, that's fine.
as the crow flies.
As the raven flies.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, as the pocket flies.
I was going to say, is it within short bow distance? But that is not, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think an impact from a bow at that distance would be like hitting somebody with a drink straw.
Pocket's still going to try.
Leaning
low.
over the edge of the skull, you can see a humanoid figure seeming to be scanning the hillside.
Are they inside the skull, looking out?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So the skull itself is upside down, and this figure is sitting basically in what would have been the jaw.
Oh, I was hoping she was peering out the nose.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Flying skull blimp, apparently. Whatever.
It's kind of like Bowser's Koopa car.
Does it look like a druid in said skull?
Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Points for consistency. You can't really tell, just due to the stormy conditions and the distance. You're having a hard time making out its actual figure. You just see a humanoid.
Then that knocks out the shoot it with a short bow plan.
I mean, you wouldn't get double disadvantage if you still wanted to shoot.
I mean, I'm fine with it being a disadvantage. It's just, it's a flying skull at this point in the journey. That's not far-fetched. But if there's no active hostility and we can't guarantee that it's a druid, he's not just going to shoot an arrow at something he can't identify.
It's a UFO. Kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really stopped.
Yeah, because
before,
riding in a half a skull definitely doesn't signify anything. It's got to be a druid.
We murdered some guy's son. That's just par for the course.
Okay.
The skull at this point starts to lower a little bit, coming a little closer. Are you waiting for what it does?
As it gets a little bit lower, Axel's just kind of watching it. But Axel will yell a greeting.
You see, at this point, leaning from the underside, leaning from the edge of this skull, you see a very cronish-looking woman with greenish, wrinkled skin. And she kind of like looks at you. You see long like fingernail or clawed fingernails gripping the side of the skull. And who would you be? Who has the authority to march around like you own the land?
My name is Axel Sillison, and we represent the people who own this land, or at least own the land nearby.
I would say this land is more ancient and powerful than any other site in the valley. The winemakers do not hold claim to it.
I think that the deed to their manor would say otherwise.
Well, Axel, we are just here to try to have the people here stop from attacking the winery. So if she speaks for the land, can she get them to stop attacking the winery?
Axel will relay that on.
Could you do me a favor?
Yes.
Could you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh boy. Oh, never mind. He's fine. He is a paladin, so wisdom is
Very nice.
important to
She
him.
reaches over, and you see some runic symbols beginning to kind of manifest in the air. And she looks down at you. Why don't you tell me what your plan is, human?
You know,
And
that's... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, and you feel this magic start to kind of lurch into your head, but through sheer force of will, you keep it out, and you maintain control of yourself as you do not wish to answer this crone. And you can tell that she was trying to manipulate you.
Sure. You know, that's really not necessary. We could just have a conversation about this.
Readying an arrow.
Really? What is this conversation?
The winemakers need to run their operation for the sake of the valley. I understand this land is important to you and your people. Surely some sort of compromise can be reached between allowing them to grow their grapes in the valley and to let your people have the hill.
Boy, you think this land belongs to me, do you? I am flattered, but no. And no, there will be no dealings with the birds.
Very
you see
well.
this kind of like toothy grin on her face. What are you planning?
To make this valley safe for the vintners.
I see. So you are my boy's newest playthings, are you?
We are no one's toys.
My son would beg to differ.
Son? Question mark.
You're not wrong,
It is
HBC.
fine anyway. You will not be making it out of this valley alive. Our little conversation has allowed my associates the time they needed to get things started. And so, I do hope you dearies have such a glorious time with them.
Ooh, she just so 50-50 on letting this arrow loose.
Flip a coin pocket.
Fuck it, sure.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna flip a coin, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Heads I shoot, tails I don't. No one is stopping me, which means I fucking can't. Oh, okay, that was... fuck. Okay, that was
To be
heads.
fair,
I'll let loose.
To be fair, the closest person is like 50 feet away from you because you guys were fanning out.
I mean, I did ready an arrow. Like, it should be seen that Pocket's got an arrow ready and trained on her, but no one said anything. So, alright. It happened.
Roll to hit, I guess.
Don't forget you're at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're right.
Pocket
17.
really wants to fire at her.
So you all see Pocket knocking an arrow and letting it loose, heading towards the woman peering over the edge of this giant floating skull. And she kind of gives a wave of her hand, and you all hear a veritable buzzing, kind of this just like droning noise as a swarm of flies begins to manifest out of nothing. The arrow hits this black hemisphere of flying insects before the shaft of it splinters and crumbles to the ground.
That's abnormal.
Okay, you're strong, but you're still creepy.
Sticks and stones, my little kitty. Sticks and stones. I will see you all later, I'm sure. And unless anyone tries anything, the skull starts flying off.
I shot my shot.
I can't shoot a shot, so hiding.
She's out of
Right?
range of Eldritch Blast, like.
Us melee folk will sit there and be like, peace out, yo.
Hi guys.
And you see it just kind of flying over the tree line and eventually disappearing over the horizon.
Does it look like it headed back? Well, I mean, I guess it's in line with both, but did it look like it's flying back along where any of those paths lead?
Roll me... We'll go with another survival check. You're not entirely sure, but you did see that it seems to be heading due east. You're not sure if it's going towards any of the markers, but with it not having to follow any of the trails, it just kind of flies off.
Right. Okay. Noted.
So her associates have done stuff?
Raz has already been walking up to meet Nana, huh?
Nana wants to get a look at the Wicker Man.
Okay, one moment. Beep, boop, doop, doop.
100% for sure thought she was just going to annihilate me.
Nah.
She sounded like she was playing with you.
You're her boy's playthings. She can't break her son's toys.
Only
That would
he
be a
can
bad
break it.
mother. I will say you don't see the family resemblance.
So, Wicker Man. Woo!
Not the bees.
Hello, bees.
All right. As you head closer to the Wicker Man, you begin to see a lot of movement inside this various circle. You see piles of rocks kind of not toppled over. And around this giant Wicker Man statue, you see a circle of humanoids, all kind of half encompassing it. From this vantage point, you can see that the main design of the Wicker Man seems to have some sort of crude fangs in the front of it. Another bolt of lightning strikes the black rock wall.
What's the plan, guys?
Well, my plan was to destroy their shit while they're away, but I think I found them.
Well, let's just destroy them and their shit.
One thing you do
first.
notice, as you're kind of looking, you know how I had mentioned that there are stones toppled over? You see also a few small pits in the ground, and it doesn't take you long to realize that they were probably sleeping under those burial cairns. Not all of them, but there are burial cairns in this area, and you see them unearthed.
Fuck me.
How preoccupied
Really?
are they?
The druids seem very preoccupied right now.
Nana has a bad idea.
I don't like bad
Okay.
ideas.
How big are the squares?
These are 5-foot squares. I don't have the grid enabled, so it will be a little more freeform, but you can use a distance marker here to kind of see.
I have no idea how to do that. Give me a sec.
All right.
It's
On
the
your toolbar,
C with the ruler.
yeah, on the toolbar, there's a circle with a ruler in the center.
Yes. I have this idea, and she's gonna say this very quietly to the group, that they're probably doing something with that statue. I could stealth over and cast silence on all of them. Again, bad idea.
It's a great idea if it works.
But I don't think the stealth team wasn't allowed to go alone, remember? Which means you're dragging me into this.
You're gonna have a hell of a distraction if this is the plan. Don't worry.
Also, before I actually start measuring distance to things, can we actually even see anyone?
You do see some plant creatures shambling about, and you do see the circle of druids around this statue.
After a couple deep breaths, go up next to Nanaha and guess be ready.
So we're doing this?
Don't worry, I'll provide covering fire.
Okay. She's a little gun shy.
All right. Well, I will need everybody, if we're going to do this, to roll initiative.
Have I even once had initiative over 10 in this campaign?
I honestly don't believe you have.
I thought I clicked my character. Apparently I didn't.
It's okay, Ashley. I mean, Nevia.
Ashley?
I don't
Johnson.
get that joke.
Johnson.
Oh. No.
It took me a second, too.
Other one.
Okay, Nanaha has a 12. Not a QW, a 12. QW is not a number.
Maybe it's Cadova. Maybe Nanaha wants Cadova.
There are numbers where I come from.
Do. Okay. Okay, one more thing I need to do here. And then we will get started.
So, just for clarification, have they I mean, I assume they know we're here, but have they noticed us where we are yet? Like, are they looking at us?
They are looking at the statue.
I thought they were
little
thoroughly
tree
distracted
things.
and we'd be sneaking up to them and then going, poof, you have no audio, and
Right.
then attack them.
So I'm just making sure that we're actually going to be stealthing in here and not like, hey, let's go kill what we can kill and run up there. Making sure we're on the same page.
I was thinking it was fan out and stealth over.
Okay, well, I will need... If we're going to go that route, Roz, you have first go.
Roz will rage, march in to the middle, and take his newly discovered spear and lob it at the closest thing that he sees there. It is at disadvantage because it's over 20 feet.
Okay, go ahead.
Womp womp.
You launch this spear, and it goes sailing past the plant entity, who turns to see where it came from. The spear embedding into the ground before it collapses into a puddle of blood, and this red mist forms around your hand, and the spear reforms in your hand as well.
That's his turn.
Pocket.
If we're trying to move stealthily with his distraction, is that half movement?
It is half movement if you are trying to be stealthy, yes.
Got it. So with an action dash and then cunning action dash, that's a total of 60 feet?
That is correct. Yeah, I had to turn the grid off because it wasn't working very well, so I apologize.
No, that's fine.
They remember my fights with maps before.
Okay, is that
So
it?
sneaking and yeah, that's it. Do I need to make a stealth roll or?
You will need to make a stealth roll, yes. Okay. You kind of sneak your way using the channel that is carved into this center as a bit of cover, leaning up against the dirt wall. You sneak through. If anyone has noticed you, they don't seem to have shown any sign of it. Verity, you are up.
That's weird. I'm not used to having. Okay. All right. Sorry. We're gonna go. Actually, hang on. Wow. Am I reading this spell correctly? Chill Touch has a range of 120 feet?
Yep.
That's pretty common.
Yep. Chill
Okay.
touch isn't touch.
Well, we don't have to move in then. We can just she can see the one that Roz threw the thing at, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just stay back and provide the covering fire Saya promised. God, where is it? There?
Okay, you reach your hand out, and this skeletal, kind of purplish black energy manifestation reaches out and starts grabbing around the throat of this plant creature. You hit. Roll your damage.
Right down the average.
It's 2d8 now, Pounce.
Oh, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't update. Well, there's another one, literally.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought Roll20 would know that I was 5th level and make them better.
It should. I'll check later.
Yeah, that's odd. Mine has it as 2d8. Mine updated automatically, so...
I bet you added yours from the list, didn't you?
I did, and I also set up an actual attack for it, and the attack updated itself as well.
Well, I'll look into it between turns.
It might just not be set up to cantrip damage growth.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Nanaha, you and the druids both go now.
So, chat. I want you to
Okay.
see I have a new
Who
spell.
goes first?
You can go first, that's fine, because the druids are just going to keep chanting.
Alrighty then. Nanaha is trying to move stealthy and is using her action to move, so that will put me at 40 feet.
Yep.
About there, I think. And that's it.
Okay, Axel, your go.
Alright, so Axel is not trying to be stealthy. So Axel is going to move there, and then use my action to like hold my glaive to the heavens, and it starts radiating holy light.
Very nice.
Axel's so cool.
All right, so I have.
Said under his breath.
All right, so my attacks are +3 to hit, and my weapon is magical for a minute,
Very nice.
and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Saya, you're up.
Alright. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to move forward 20 feet, because I am not trying to be stealthy either. Saya is going to hold her action for if any of the druids stop paying attention to their ritual, and I will cast Sleet Storm on them
Okay.
if they turn at all, like if they make any indication that they are not immediately focused on the ritual.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Having been attacked at this point, the needle things are not very happy about the situation. And they are going to start moving towards the party. You also all begin to hear the droning of insects as you see several clouds of flies beginning to manifest, kind of flying in from various areas and forming a black, almost like swarm, as you see this like almost spherical ball of flies bobbing around. So the one needle blight is going to attempt to attack Roz because it is the only thing close enough. And this barrage of pine needles is just going to whiz past him as they completely miss spectacularly. Roz, your go.
Raz will move in on the one needle blight that he can reach, and not be a disadvantage. Test out this new spear's melee capacity.
You thrust the blood spear forward, and a burst of crimson light emerges from it as you pierce clean through this needle blight in front of you. Roll damage. Damn.
Jesus Chrysler.
Thanks. Oh yeah, nope, that makes sense.
+2
And-
weapon, +2 for duelist, +2 for yeah.
Yeah. At this point, you see there's another flash of crimson as the needle blight just turns into almost a complete gray ash and collapses, scattering to the winds, and you are reinvigorated as a pulse of 2d6 temporary hit points goes through you.
I helped, sort of.
Alright, so yeah, that's 7 more temp hit points for you.
He's good.
Poke it.
All right. So, considering that in this channel there are other things that can see me, we'll action, dash, and cunning action if necessary to get here. Now, is this thing is it toppled and laying horizontal on the ground, or is it like Stonehenge and propped up?
It's Stonehenge and propped up.
Then I will hide behind one of the pillars that props up that horizontal piece and
Okay.
just wait there.
I will need you to make... Alright, so you used action, move action.
I've moved and then action dash. If that didn't get me there, then I would have cunning action. But I think just that gets me there.
That would have gotten there, but you'll have to use your cunning action to hide. Since
do
we
that.
are in essentially
Because we
combat
are
style,
actually in combat, right?
yeah, you'll need to re-hide at the end of a turn.
Cunning action hide. Let's do it. Stealth check.
Okay. Verity.
Well, seeing as how there's the group is trying to move towards our left, their right, and can she see this one? This one where the arrow's wiggling. I got the thing selected incorrectly.
No, because the area you're in is in a bit of like a carved out portion. There's a bit of a wall kind of blocking them.
Oh, okay. Then we need height, so we'll do That's 30, right?
Yeah, you can kind of like pop onto the side of the wall there, awkwardly.
Well, I mean, everything she does is awkward, so that's perfectly in character.
I can just see Raz turning back and just seeing her horns pop up.
That might be racist. Can she see it now? Basically,
Yes.
what she's trying to do is provide cover for the two from the ones that are closest.
Yeah, you can see it now.
All right, score. All right, let's let it rip, I guess. Just boy, it's gonna be one of those days. All right, you guys are gonna have to do all the work.
You reach out, channeling the magic within you, and this purple blackish manifestation of a skeletal hand forms, and it swipes at this needle blight. However, your concentration is slightly lapsed just due to the precariousness of the way you are perched on this ravine, and unfortunately that was just enough that it swung past the thing's head.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Na.
Namamana is gonna go and
Do-do-do-do.
stealthily run over to where Pocket is. And then I think that's my whole action, but next turn enact the quiet.
Okay. I will need you action dashed and then you then you moved, right?
Yep, my whole thing is running, nothing else. But quietly
Okay, Saya, at this point you do see some eyes turning towards Nanaha because she is not stealthing.
I thought I was still being stealthing because it was quick movement,
We're in
but there was
combat.
whole thing. True.
We're in combat now.
Okay, so if I can move that far, then I won't run next to Pocket then. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
It was back where? Yeah, because I thought with half movement, if I used my whole thing as movement, but was still being stealthy, that would get me 40 feet.
Right, but you still have to
I guess I
take
got
an
that wrong.
action to be stealthy.
Okay, that's what I thought I was doing.
Could she move key point step of the wind and then use her action to be stealthy?
Yeah, I'd say that's fine.
Okay. That it.
Okay, roll me stealth.
So it's a 40-foot radius for Sleet Storm. Nev, it's giant.
Am I still not drawing it big enough?
No, so start in the center of where you want it, and a 40-foot radius is going to be 8 tiles wide. So you're gonna go. So it's going to be 17 tiles wide from if you start in the center, because you're going to go 8 each direction.
I was just trying to get prepared before
Yeah,
my turn
It's-
came up. Sorry.
it's huge. You're gonna if you centered it on the statue, it would cover like the like out to the cairns.
You can continue on with your stuff. If they're turning, then this matters. But if
Yeah.
not, then
All right, 1 second. They are going to be turning. One of them did see her.
oh my god.
Let me get some radiuses so we actually have some sizes here.
Holy shit, a 40-foot radius?
Seem right? Yeah, that's not right at all. What the heck?
10-foot radius. It looks like.
Yeah. Oh well, we tried.
Ultimately, if you're centering on that statue, you hit everything that's not like behind cover or something.
It might be hitting you and Nanaha.
If it's centered on the statue, I mean, or if it's centered more in the front of the statue, yeah, you are.
It would be centered on the statue to make sure I hit the entire circle around it.
This will probably work better if a grid was enabled, but, you know. There we go. This is about right.
Yeah, so that's centered on the statue.
Okay.
You need to set it back just like one more tile then. I mean the other way.
It's like one
Get
square
back.
Wait,
larger,
please
but
don't
yeah.
kill me.
It doesn't do damage.
What?
Just
Yeah, it does.
saying.
Doesn't it?
Sleet Storm?
Sleet Storm does not do damage.
Oh,
Ooh, it turned green.
Okay, the area is heavily obscured. Grounded. Or starts its turn there. It must make a dex saving throw. Okay.
And blue dot for concentration.
You're the weather witch over here.
So that kind of does the same thing you wanted to do your silence for, Lumi, but this way you're not immediately getting attacked.
Yeah, it gives me a
Great.
chance to do silence next turn.
Okay. Two of them. Actually, no. Ah, no! There.
Based on the proximity of Pocket to the storm and the splashing of sleet that is hitting his face, it's obvious this is Saya.
Mm-hmm.
He should have
no.
advantage on the save because he's been splashed so much.
Half of the group falls over. The rest of them continue chanting. The ones that fell over are going to use half their movement to get back up. And is going to look for the source of that. And let's see, is it difficult terrain?
It is both difficult terrain and heavily obscured terrain.
Nice. Okay, so that's going to move there. That one failed. That one's going to move. This one is going to continue the ritual. This one is going to continue the ritual. Alright. Yeah, and that one's going to continue the ritual as well. So a few of them are going to be stumbling around in the dark. Nanaha.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you did your thing. That was moving up there.
Yep.
Axel.
Meanwhile, me and Nanaha are like, really? You snuck over here just so that she could control the fucking weather?
Yep.
Rest well, CT. Thanks for coming out.
can I get to? I kind of want to head in this general direction. Axel is going to use his action to dash over terrain and get up there.
Okay, sounds good.
And then bonus action. Bonus action done. That's my turn.
Okay. Saya, you're up.
Okay, well, it's heavily obscured, so it's not like I can see in there anymore. So we're just gonna hold concentration. And then I'm going to move up here next to Verity.
And shove her down, right?
No!
Oh, okay.
Can I give Verity my inspiration for that pun?
I'm fine with that.
Take my inspiration, because that's funny.
I'm going to fire an oh shit, I don't have the ping up. I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast over here.
Okie doke.
Eldritch Blast.
The greenish blue bolt of energy emerges from your lantern and just completely splashes against this needle blight. You hit, roll damage. Okay, it takes damage. You see like this blast of like needles flying off of its body.
I'll send the second blast.
Okay.
Question.
Answer.
Isn't that a cantrip? Doesn't it double at level 5?
Yeah, that's why I'm sending the second
Yeah.
blast. It doesn't double its damage, it gets extra blasts.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Warlocks are fucking weird. Alright.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast. The best way to think of a warlock is they are the fighter of mage classes. So they get more attacks with their cantrips rather than more damage.
Weird. I don't like them. Okay.
I like it.
Like, we're cheating for our magic already, so nothing gets to be normal for us.
Yeah, they have limited spell slots, so they have to have a good cantrip.
I assume
Alright.
since the first 13 hit, the second one did, so I rolled damage.
Oh yeah, no, it completely like is eviscerated and explodes in a force.
And that would be my turn.
Okay. There's an Axel standing in front of this needle blight, so it is going to feebly attempt to poke through the metal armor man. And it is going to do absolutely nothing because
Metal armor.
boy is a can of sardines, and you're not going to get through that with some pine needles.
Imagine just like limp leaves being thrown at his chest plate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This one's going to move closer to Roz. This one is going to move this way. Swarm of bugs is going to fly and attempt to attack Axel. Swarm of bugs is going to fly this way. Needles are going to go this way. Alright. What's your AC, Axel?
18 at the moment.
Okay. The swarm of insects do manage to get through your armor, so you feel like this biting as all these flies are kind of crawling through the gaps in your armor, and so they're like the little cracks and crevices that you use for movement. You feel like just these little insect legs moving on your skin, and you feel as they start biting down on your body.
That's unpleasant.
You take 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
As the bugs go nom 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 nom. Okay, one of the needle blights is actually going to manage to hit Roz. I'm shocked. Okay, Roz, you take 10 points of piercing damage, rounded down to 5 because rage.
Okay.
The rest of them are trying to launch their needles at you, but are missing horribly.
Fair enough.
Didn't even cut
It
through
is
his
now-
shiny blood HP.
What was that?
Didn't even cut through his shiny new blood HP that he got from his spear.
Exactly, yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Go ahead, Roz. Your go.
Raz will continue to move up, stabbing and poking at the closest things that he gets to.
Isn't that the one that got killed by Saya? One move into the same spot.
One moved into the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah, it explodes. It explodes.
Don't even roll damage. It died.
Feel free to see if you can get more than the 2 temp HP you have. Okay, so now you have
It
3
went to
temp
3.
HP.
So temp HP just overrides.
Yes.
Good to know.
Otherwise, it would be hella broken if he could just basically be coming. Yeah,
Super tank.
super
Yeah.
tanking. Yeah.
It replaces the highest one. So if I had 7 and this time I gained 3, I wouldn't gain the 3. I would just stay at the 7. But I went from 2 to 3. And he will continue his movement down to there to kind of continue blocking off things the best he can.
Okay. Pocket, you see flashing through the cloud of sleet and rain the splashing of lightning as a bolt strikes against the stone wall. You see this. It is very hard to see through the thick cloud of mist and snow in front of you.
Considering it would be very hard to see and there's no one there to be adjacent, that seems like a bad idea and a bad place to be in. So, this thing next to Axel, we will work on. I'm going to step out of this snow, half covered in, or out of the sleet, half covered in it, look at Saya like, really? Really?
Are
Go
we
on.
going to go that Pocket was actually in it? I need to know.
It looks like I was in it based on where I was. Like, that looks like I'm in it.
Okay, then I will need...
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
was trying not to get them in it, but I mean, it's also a 40-foot radius, and it's a new spell she hasn't tried before.
Yeah, I
I'm
will
totally
need
fine
you
rolling it.
I'll need you to roll a dex save, please. Yeah, you fucking, like... You feel your foot starting to slip, and you just use the momentum of that to, like, leap out of the snow.
Out of here. Well, look at Saya. Yeah, really? Yeah, this is what we're doing now? Okay. And save my shiny boy by firing my short bow at the closest twig guy right here.
Okay. Yep, you launch an arrow, and it just kind of whizzes past and embeds itself in the mass of carnivorous plant material.
And sneak attack, right?
Yep, because Axel is right nearby.
And then Whales of the Grave on the flies that are assaulting him.
Okay. Yeah, the plant, like the vine or the needles just kind of fall apart as you is it supposed to be half days?
Yes.
Okay, because half
half
of
rounded
3
up.
Oh, it does say round up?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Alright, if it specifies round up, then yeah. Okay, yeah, that's different. Okay, yeah, the swarms of insects, like you see some of them just kind of falling as this pulse of like purplish energy just kind of manifests, and almost like a phantom arrow kind of launches into there, skewering them.
And let's see, how far was that? So, I assume are we calling that 10 feet or 15?
We'll go with 10.
Then, no longer stealthy, we will move. Let's see, B5. I'll move there, and just be in the middle between the druids and the other, seeing what needs help next. That's the end of my turn.
Okay, Verity, your go.
Well, we're gonna move 5 feet to get off the slidey ground, and pocket wailed at the insects, which puts them in range for the dongers. So we'll ring it and hope we don't miss.
Okay.
That's not correct. Oh yes, it was. It's a wisdom save. I forgot.
You know those insects, so notoriously
Super
high for their
wise.
wisdom saving throw. Even with a -2, I still rolled a 17.
Wow. Those super wise flies.
This is my session to do absolutely fucking nothing.
I'm
Everybody
going to
has
say...
one.
I'm going to say that you do, like, some of the flies do kind of reverberate and fall and die. But a lot of them are currently in Axel's armor and probably didn't hear the toll of the dead.
No, it's fine. Everybody has a session where they just can't do anything. This is mine. Like, in the vampire fight, it was Axel. So it's like, it goes around, comes around.
Yep. Na, you're up.
Well, there goes Minamena's plan.
I do need you to make a dex save.
Yep, so let's first do the dex. Please tell me I did just fall on my face.
You fall on your ass.
Great, okay, there goes half my movement.
So yeah, the ground is just completely slippery with mist and water and snow. And your footing placement wasn't right as you just fall over. Get yourself up and you crawl out of the snowy ball of death.
Enjoying the wet ass. Anyhow, before the cloud went up, she saw 3 people down towards the left. She's gonna cast silence on those 3 if she can. It's a 20-foot radius. Can you put that up, DM? Because I sneak at this.
Yes.
Bottom left, if I can, and I can reach 120 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you scoot it so a little closer to me? I'd like it to cover all 3, but be a little closer towards where I am.
Sure. No. There.
Thank
So
you,
like
dear.
here?
Up. Like, wanted to partially cover a little bit of the statue. That's
Okay.
better. Thank you so very much. And that's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a concentration spell. So how do I mark that I'm concentrating?
Blue dot. We'll just go with blue dot for concentration.
Thank you.
I think the storm front moved a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Sorry. There are so many things stacked upon each other.
Those
Okay.
druids in the bottom are having a real bad time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping those
Okay.
were the chanting ones.
Okay. Fall over, still concentrating. Fall over, lost concentration. Fell over, lost concentration. Stayed up, kept concentration. The rest of those are silenced.
So based on the
Oh.
way this spell reads, don't they have to make a separate concentration roll from the dexterity save?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
rolling them. So I was rolling the dex save to see if they fell, then the con save to see if they are still concentrating.
Okay. It's a new spell for me.
Oh yeah, no, Sleet Storm
Use
is a solid one. However, one of the druids was able to maintain concentration on the ritual. And at this point you hear you barely audible amongst the lightning and the whooshing. Arise, Winter Splinter! Bring forth our judgment! And you can barely see, those of you on the outside, like, you see the statue, you see its head poking out from, like, the the hemisphere of Sleet Storm because it's 50 feet tall statue.
Oh, that's more than just its head. Sleet Storm only goes up 20 feet.
Oh yeah, it's 20 feet tall cylinder. Okay, yeah. So you see it, like the statue, the Wicker Man statue, kind of collapsing on itself, and you see this glowing green emanation from inside of it. As kind of almost growing through it, you guys see this like giant withered tree looking entity, and it's very unnerving because it's trying to roar, but it is standing inside silence, so it just opens its mouth and you see like blood and sap dripping from a crack in the bark where fangs kind of form.
If you thought electricity put Pocket Pair on edge, or to stand on end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that means it is now Axel's go.
Can I attack the flies, or do I just need to move out of them?
You can attack the flies.
Okay. Well, let's see how futile this is. That's 14.
That hits because they're flies. Okay. Your magically glowing glaive cuts through several of them at once, and you just kind of see, like, various parts of fly material falling to the ground around you. The ones that are currently crawling in your armor, you feel squish against the resistance of your muscles and the thick metal.
Excellent. There are still flies then?
Oh yeah, there's still flies.
All right. Second attack on the flies.
Okay. Okay, roll damage. You see just this black swarm just cut through almost in like one full swipe. You see this layer of like golden light lingering behind it. And the droning around you stops as the flies just kind of scatter to the ground around you.
Excellent. And then I can definitely move there. That looks like 5, 10, 20 feet of movement. And I will use the butt end attack on the nettle monster.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a 12.
That's just its AC. You swing around and you whack it right across the face. And you deal it 5 points of damage as you hear a sickening crack of wood against wood and some of the plant material kind of just splattering off it.
That was my turn.
Saya.
Well, that's probably a problem. We're gonna keep the concentration up.
Okay, sounds good.
And then... if I move here, can I... So it looks like it's within 120 feet of me here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna start blasting.
Into the storm? Does it impose
So, isn't it huge?
It is taller than the storm.
Oh, well then, yeah. Never mind. I'll
By
shut
about
the fuck
like by about 10 feet because it's not as tall as the statue was.
up.
But yeah, you
Significantly
launch
more
this
complex.
you launch this blast of energy just across the battlefield. And The thing recoils as your Eldritch Blast buffers against it. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay.
That's about par for the course for me. Alright, second one.
That one hits. That also...
I mean, alright.
That's the very Nevia way of doing average damage.
Yes.
So that's my turn.
Okay.
So is that how you min-max?
Apparently.
Right. The needle blights are gonna go. The swarm of insects is going to fly over to Saya.
You grow.
Needle blights. Needle blights. All of the needle blights have their tantrums against Roz and Axel. Roz nimbly dodging out of the way, and Axel just taking it as his armor causes these pine needles to just splinter uselessly. The insect swarm, however, is going to descend upon Saya, and like you feel just these sharp bites as all of these flies descend down on you. And that's a natural 20.
Natural 20 flies.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot to use my bark skin anyway, so I only have 12 AC. I was getting hit no matter what.
Is a natural 20 with flies? Flies in the nose, mouth, and eyes?
I think so.
Why would you do that? Ew!
That is 26 points of piercing damage.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 26.
I did say 26. I rolled 13 and doubled.
So I am going to rebuke them.
Okay, sounds good. I do need you to make a concentration check for Sleet Storm.
Yes. Oh, concentration doesn't have a save on this, does it?
It's Constitution. It'd be DC 15.
Yeah.
Because you took 26 damage.
Am I proficient at concentration checks? This is where not having played a caster. No, I don't.
You are not.
Yeah, it's just a
You don't
constitution save.
All right.
Yeah, it's a Constitution save.
You don't give a fuck.
Through the biting pain, you manage to keep concentration on your giant sleet storm. And yeah, somehow. Somehow. Alright, so that is Dex save. Okay. They made the save exactly. So that's still 9 points of cold damage to the swarm. Several of these flies just go inactive and fall over or like shatter off your body.
Hooray, Ganassi Constitution. Yeah, so that would be my... it's their turn, so that, yep, cool.
Alright, the tree makes its dex save. That is a sentence I never thought I would say.
I was gonna be like, wow, okay. Can a tree be prone? It's like a tree.
Well, more importantly, if the tree goes prone and like nobody's around, does anyone hear it?
Does it make a sound?
Both of
Okay,
you
so
were.
it
Go
walks
both of you
out
sit in the
there.
corner.
So that is its movement, and it is going to... Okay, that's most of it. It's going to use its action to move, and it's... So action, that, and then dash.
I didn't make you stop, HPG. And you know my rules are the only ones that matter.
Okay, Roz.
Did the tree just stomp over a bunch of druids? Because that would
You
be
don't know.
hilarious to me.
There was no sound.
Either way, Roz, seeing a nice clump of tree things right in front of him, will kind of move up to engage them, at least the front two, before lashing out at the one on the outside.
Oh yeah, you connect. And roll your temp HP to see if you get more. Okay, you're up to 8.
Roz is finally in fighting form.
All right, that's his turn.
Okay, pocket.
Does it cost additional movement to go up the slopes?
I'll say no.
Gotcha. Then was gonna try to save Saya, but gotta save my shiny boy first, even though he doesn't need it. That's all of my movement essentially, and we'll just attack the one closest to me with my rapier. Rather, does it cost cost anything to swap to my rapier because I have my short bow out last?
You could drop it and pull out your rapier.
Done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rapier.
You definitely do it a stab. Pocket, honey, it's already dead.
It happens anyway.
It dared
but
to
Whales from the
throw
Grave-
leaves at Axel.
Where was it?
It was
'cause
here.
I have to. Whales of the Grave is 30. Oh, okay, it was Jason. 30 feet.
Yeah.
So, Whales of the Grave is the flies.
Okay. Yeah, and there's no save on those, right? It just happens?
Nope, it just happens.
Okay.
It happens only if I hit with sneak attack.
Right. So you swing your rapier into this mass of pine needles, and there's this howling scream as several of the flies just start dropping dead as this pinkish purple, like almost phantom vision of Pocket stabbing through them manifests.
I like it. And bonus action. Keep going back to the ruler. Dash 5, 10, 15, 20. 20. Just to be closer to Roz.
Oh, okay. It's not a bonus. Whales of the Grave would have been a bonus action to activate.
Nope. It just does. At least currently, until Tasha's Cauldron and everything changes things. I don't know.
Okay. Verity, you're up.
Well, what happened to Saya looked wholly unpleasant, so we're just gonna kind of slide over here. Oh, damn it. Slide over there, Verity. All right, there you go. And we'll just we'll attempt to ring the bell and hope that they don't make a very difficult wisdom save and get them off of Saya.
Okay.
God.
Okay. The good news is they fail. The bad news is only a few of the flies begin to kind of start falling off of Saya at this point.
Sorry, Saya, I tried.
Nanaha.
All right. Can't really do much at the moment, so I guess first make a dex save to not get a wet butt again.
I thought you moved out of it because it moved over.
Yeah,
one
I'm
more.
saying you're out of it at this point.
Okay. Everything to run.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah, Drenched crew is back together.
Okay.
Making squeaky shoe noises the whole way.
Okay. You... they can't do anything else. Okay, they're going to move out. That one's gonna move out.
Sorry, ignore that. I didn't mean to click that.
That's fine. These two fell, so they only get a little bit of guy.
Oh, your frostbite hasn't gone up in damage, by the way, Sai.
That's why I was accidentally clicking it as I was fixing it.
Alright, you see two of the druids emerging from the giant violent sleet storm, panting, covered in snow. There's ice dripping off of their matted hair. And I will say, Saya, Sleet Storm's 3rd level, right?
Yes.
Alright. Suddenly, the sleet storm winks itself out as you see this very wet, unhappy-looking individual. An older man holding up a gnarled staff, ice dripping off of his unkempt beard. Seems to be finishing the last bit of a spell as your sleet storm vanishes. It kind of gets washed over by this like sickening black energy and then winks out. That was Dispel Magic.
To him too. It's only fair. I did dispel their fog cloud earlier. Okay.
No. Oh, you already went. Derp. Axel.
Not getting there. All right. Let's go. Okay. Is there room for Axel to stand in that tile between Nanaha and the fly swarm?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yep.
All right, so I will step there, and then I will use my first attack on the fly swarm.
Okay.
So a 22.
Yeah, that hits. Okay, you cleave through it, several of the black flies just splattering against the blade of your glaive. Almost no resistance. They're still swarming, but the number is very, very diminished.
All right, so I will use my second glaive attack on the nettle monster to my right.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you completely lumberjack it. Roll your damage. Yep, you cleave through this thing, and it just... dust in the wind. It is... just collapses, falling apart.
All right, and then I will bring the butt end of the spear back through the cloud of flies.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you hit. A few more of the flies splatter against the butt end of your glaive. You are going to have to take so many baths to get this all cleaned off.
Yeah, I am. And then I don't care about fly opportunity attacks. So I move like 20 feet over, so I will move my last 10 feet back toward the tree.
Okay, yeah. They buzz at you, doing nothing.
Excellent. All right, that's fine.
Saya.
Okay, now I mean to press Frostbite on the flies. Okay. Not that I can roll damage to save my life.
If it's any consolation, even the accidental roll had the same damage.
I know.
You know those flies. So hardy against the winter cold.
I see they're Midwestern flies.
Apparently these flies
I
come
didn't
from...
realize I was fighting flies from the UP, okay?
Yes. Yeah, the swarm of flies in front of you are all kind of like, oh yeah, yeah there.
Oh yeah,
should've
the
just-
superflies, man.
I should have
Maybe
just fed
something
them the
fierce,
maggot.
Okay. There are 2 needle blights left. They are going to attempt to attack Pocket and Nanaha because the large angry one is hard to hit and the large calm one is hard to pierce through. Pocket, what's your AC?
17.
Okay.
Actually, it would probably be too because I dropped the short bow. I pulled out my rapier. I didn't also pull out my shield, so yeah, it'd be 2 less 15.
Okay. You take 7 points of piercing damage as a barrage of pine needles kind of poke through your fur and make it very uncomfy. Nanaha, you are able to nimbly dodge the pine needle assault.
A shield is plus 2 to AC, right?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah, 15.
Yeah, the flies are going to attempt to buzz at Nanaha. And they deal 3 points of piercing damage as they nibble on her arm. Most of them dispersed or dead by now. A few of them are still angry. Could you roll me a Constitution save, please? You maintain concentration on silence.
With the sleet storm gone, do we see anything in the silence?
You do not. Raz, I will... You know what? Sure. You see 2 corpses of druids that seem to have been stomped flat. Okay, that's going to take another movement. Raz, you're up.
Alright. Oh, that one is stomping around. I don't like that. Raz will fade to black and appear over here so he doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
He will then charge down the hill toward the tree blight and swing at it.
Okay, go ahead. That is going to hit. You thrust the spear deep into the heart of this giant, like, just diseased-looking tree. There's a flash of crimson from the spear as it pierces through the thick bark without any resistance.
And darkness billows around me and it as something finally lives through one of my attacks. He is marked.
Okay. That means disadvantage on everyone who's not you, right?
And half damage to everyone who's not me.
Okay. Pocket.
Well, since the group back there can't handle some flies, and to be efficient in his fighting, Pocket will run up to Saya and handle the flies.
Okay. You hit. Okay, and sneak attack those flies.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you came over and you said all of that and then fucking missed.
Don't jinx it. Don't do it.
That's why I waited to say it.
The mighty cat hunter comes by and just slashes at it. He just slashes and kind of like bats flies out of the air with his paws and is the mighty cat hunter.
I purposely want to be cutting it close for rain and sleet on me. But then I assume the tree blight is the only thing that's 30 feet from where the flies were.
It is.
So that's my last Whales of the Grave.
This pinkish, purplish visage manifests a Pocket and kind of lunges at the tree. However, upon hitting its bark, it dissipates harmlessly.
Oh ho ho! It might not have a brain to have psychic damage be dealt to it. Fair. But that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Verity.
Well, now that the unkillable flies are dealt with, Verity's going to kind of step over and kind of brush some gross fly bits off of Saya's shoulder and put her hand on her shoulder and give her some healing because that was a lot of fly damage.
Yeah, cast it at your lowest, though. For this reason. Alright, so it's a D8, and what's
13.
your... Thank you.
It's 13.
I just get max healing now. Pounce.
That's fine, whatever you want.
No, I'm just letting you know, like, I just get max healing so you can go with the weaker stuff for Saya.
She wants the weak shit. Give her the weak shit.
More like, don't waste as much on me.
Let's see, so that was what, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll back up a little. Well, maybe not quite so far yet. We'll back up a little bit. Because there is a big tree thing sort of heading towards us.
Okay. The druids are now able to actually do something. All right. I will need Roz to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You take 5 points of fire damage. All right, and this other one is going to reach out to the bark of the thrashing tree and say a few words, and you see this pulse of red and silver light kind of wash over the tree as some of its wounds and lesions begin to heal. Okay, this one can't get close to anybody. This one is going to move forward and can't really do much either, so... Na.
Puncher.
Okay, punch the plant. Okay, being the anti-gardener, you punch, just crack the ever-living crap out of this pine thing. The first 2 hit. Okay, you bludgeon this thing into a bloody pulp. Well, a sappy pulp, but still.
My hands are sticky.
Axel, you're up.
So Axel is going to move to there, and on his way, like, he's gonna reach down and like scoop up Pocket's short bow and just like toss it over his shoulder.
Sounds good.
And then we will start hacking away at the tree.
Okay.
So that's a 17.
Yep, you swing, and you feel a lot of resistance behind the tree bark until your glaive is washed over with a golden light, and that extra little bit of push pushes it through. Roll your damage.
Second swing of the glaive, same plan. That would be a 14.
Unfortunately, despite the magical aid from your channel divinity, it is not enough to pierce through the tree bark.
Excellent. And then we will bonus action hit it with the back end, hopefully.
Okay,
So
that
17
does. Okay, you beat up a tree.
Excellent. And then I have 10 feet of movement left. I don't want to go that way. I will stay where I am.
Okay, Saya, you're up.
Alright, Sai is going to take a step back, and then we're going to fire Eldritch Blasts at our druid friend over here.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that hits. Okay, 6 damage.
I'll remember this time I have Agonizing Blast, and so that extra 2 cold onto that.
Agonizing Blast is the charisma modifier. You got rid of the damage.
What? No.
Oh, that's the...
No, that's Genie's Wrath. That's what it is. There
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I was just, because I messed with my invocations, and I got rid of the Lance of Lethargy, which was the slowdown.
Okay, yeah, nope, that's good.
Okay, and then the second one... Oh, it's actually my proficiency, so it was plus 3 cold damage. And that one's probably not hitting.
Yeah, no, that one, the second one just whizzes past completely.
Yeah. That's me.
Okay. The needle blights and the remaining, or the needle blight and the remaining bug want to try and do something. The bugs are going to go for the closest thing, which is na. And they are going to just bounce feebly off of her her robes. They are not happy. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Okay. You, Verity, is 20 feet away. Perfect. The remaining needle blight is going to launch a barrage of pine needles off at Verity. And that is 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay, now it is the tree blights go. So the confines of that ability, Roz, is that disadvantage against not you and half damage against not you. Are they compelled to fight you?
Nope, they have no compulsion. It's just if they do anything else, my shadowy spirits, distract and, shield some of the damage.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I think it is going to attack you as you have been poking at it. And Angie Tree is Angie. Alright, Roz, first thing it does is it wraps one of the thick, gnarled roots around your legs, and it begins to lift you up. So you are grappled and being held by it. Axel, you said your AC is 18, right? Axel?
Yes.
Your AC is 18?
Yes.
Okay. A second thick root begins to wrap around you as well, and you are also grappled.
Excellent.
2 hits. Okay, Roz, while you're being held, it is going to just start beating you with the thick branches.
Right. That I was trying to move my character sheet.
It's fine. Okay, that's 17 points of bludgeoning rounded down to 8.
I got your temp HP.
And that
finally take damage.
That is 19 points of bludgeoning damage rounded down to 9. And it is going to use its bonus action to try and shove you in the broken, teeth-like separation in its midsection. Okay, that is a 22 to hit.
Dang, this thing's got amazing action economy. Grab 2 people, multiple attacks, throw me in its mouth. Little do they know that's exactly where I want to be. I'm just going to go all Drax on it from the inside.
17 plus 6, that's 23. So that's 23 rounded down to 11 points of piercing damage as it chomps down on you. And then it is going to use its movement to carry the 2 of you further up the path. Okay, Roz, you are currently grappled.
Will bonus action second wind.
Okay. Also, at the start of your turn, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, rounded down to 4, as it starts squeezing you with the roots that it's grappled you with. That is good.
And he will lab. This thing seems like it could grab us fairly easily, so he's just going to lash out. I mean, he'll go after the roots that are literally holding on to him, but if it frees him, great, but otherwise just do damage.
Okay. Yeah, that hits as you start stabbing down on the root. That is enough damage that you do pierce through it, and the the root grappling onto you kind of collapses onto the ground, doing nothing. So you are no longer grappled.
All right. And that was a bonus. I'm content where I am as far as movement goes, so that's it.
Temp
Okay.
HP thing? Or is that a bonus action?
No, that's only if he kills it.
Oh, right.
I swallow their soul.
You need to let Roz finish them off.
Yeah. Pocket.
We're not hearing you, Days.
Oh, whoops! I said 25 to get over to Nanaha and then attack the flies.
Yeah, you kill those flies. You kill them good. Because they had 2 hit points left, and there's no way you can roll less than 2.
But you have to do it.
Nanaha, you have a slight splattering of flies on you as Pocket neumes in there, and kind of like bugs on the front of a car grill. There's just this like splattering of flies.
And then, is it an action to actually put on my shield? Because I know that there's like a feat that you can do it like as like a bonus action or something like that. But like, it's an action to actually do that, isn't it?
So usually, I think what it is it lets you take it out as part of your attack action, because you usually get 1 free item interaction around. So I could say you could pull it out. That's fine.
Okay, so I'll put that back on to be back up to 17, and then that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Verity, your go.
There is one little plant bastard around, so we'll come down here and gotta get within 10 feet of him. So
Mm-hmm.
would this be within 10 feet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And seeing as how it is a plant, we'll just give him a little mist of poison spray.
Okay. Alright, con save. It fails, and you see like the brownish plant material turn a sickening black as the thing just kind of slumps and falls over with a wet squish. As you spray this mist of like purplish black poisonous material.
How much health do they have?
They don't have much. They have like 10.
Oh. Okay, well, we got a little more movement, so we'll just kind of position move it back. Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Nanaha, you are up.
Okay, can't really do much. I think I'll just run up and get within near range and do patient defense.
Okay, sounds good.
I think that would be about right. And since I didn't have an action, it would just be normal to do patient defense, or does it take keep?
It would be normal to take the dodge action, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I done.
Okay, druids go. The ball of fire is going to roll down the battlefield and attempt to roll into Nanaha. I need you to roll a dex save. You have advantage because you're dodging. Okay, you take 3 points of fire damage as the rolling ball of fire slams into you, but you push out of the way, so it only manages to barely singe you.
I just singed the last of the gold out of my hair. No big deal.
Aw, that's sad.
No, it didn't singe your hair.
Hey, I'm trying to canonically get rid of the gold, okay?
Sorry.
Love you, dear.
All right, the second druid here is going to burn another spell slot to cast Cure Wounds. And you see this energy washing over the tree as it starts to heal up some of the egregious damage that is taken from the party. These two are going to move closer and are going to attempt to throw fire. Let me see. Is produce fire? Okay, that's 30 feet, so they can't do that yet. They will cast Entangle. I believe that can work.
No, HPG, your laptop.
Yep. They're going to cast Entangle around Saya and around Verity. $20 foot square. 20 foot square. I need Saya and Verity to do strength saving throws, please.
Respect.
The two full casters of the group, known for their resounding strength of body, managed to just shred apart the grasping vines that are trying to ensnare them, and they are not entangled.
Yay! I'll go with it was the icy spikes from my rebuke earlier.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll just go with living things that get near Verity just die. Why not? When her evil juice is seeping out of her, the things just die.
It's the underdog story in this session.
Yeah, seriously. All right, and the Archdruid going to move a little bit. Let's see. They are going to use their action to cast Call Lightning.
Oh, ow, this is gonna hurt.
And it is a 60-foot radius. Alright, so I will put that 60-foot radius for next session, but Pocket. Actually, no. The best option would be Axel and Nanaha. I need you to make dexterity saving throws. Nanaha, you're at advantage. The nimble paladin in their unencumbered armor. Actually, yeah, no, grapple doesn't cause that. So while you're being dangled by this tree entity, it seems to move you out of the way of the blast of lightning that comes down from the skies.
Good moving with the swaying.
Okay,
Be one with the tree.
Nanaha, you take 16 points of lightning damage, and Axel, you take 8. Axel, it is your go.
All right, so I think I'm gonna try the same plan as Roz and try to hack off the arm that's holding me,
Okay.
or at least attack the arm that's holding me. So first strike the blade toward the thing.
Okay.
23.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Wrong button.
So you are able to cut through the thing holding you without any real issue whatsoever.
What is this madness that's appearing on screen?
I think we can just say that Call Lightning can hit anything in the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much can. I didn't realize how big of a spell it is.
Was it a 70-foot radius?
60 foot.
60 foot.
But then it can hit like anything within 150 feet of that 60-foot feet rate. Like it's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, everyone.
So having come down off of the vine, we're going to take a couple steps forward just to get out of AoE range, and the second glaive attack will be on the tree blight.
Okay.
So that is a 17.
That hits.
I'm going to dump a second level smite into him as well here.
Okay. I will, just for the record, this does not register as undead.
Excellent. Womp. And that should have been 3d8.
Okay. Roll another d8 then. Okay, that's better.
15 total on that last attack.
Okay.
Wait, no, 20 total on the last attack. I'm sorry, 5 slashing, 15 radiant.
Yep. You see like this bleaching of the wood as like bits of it just kind of slough off.
All right, and then we will hit it butt end. Which misses.
Sorry, that's gonna miss. That's gonna be a miss.
All right,
You sure?
That is my
Okay, Saya, you're up. It is difficult terrain,
Yep.
but you are not entangled.
Yep, I read the spell just so I would make sure I planned this turn correctly. So it will basically take all of my movement to get over here to the edge outside, and then I will use my action to bark skin myself, because I have a feeling it's going to be necessary. So for the next 10 minutes, I have bark skin, so 16 AC.
Yay! Okay, sounds good. Alright, it is the Tree Blight's turn. As it still has... Alright, so it is going to attempt to re-grapple Roz. Okay, that is a 22.
So that was successful.
It attempts to swing down to re-grapple Axel, but the root just kind of slams in front of him without connecting. How long does that Ancestral Guardian's marking thing work? Just a round or until combat?
It lasts until the end of my next turn, and then if I hit them again, it re-ups it.
Okay.
So every round, as long as I continue to hit this thing, it stays.
It is going to attempt to swing down at Axel, but once again, the branches... Well, this time the branches are kind of getting pulled back by this wave of shadow. And so the tree roars in anger and will slam its branches against Roz in anger. Okay, that's a 19.
That will miss.
That is a 24, though, for the bite, so it'll use its bonus action to stuff you in its mouth again.
Why not?
Get in my belly.
Two- 22 points of piercing damage, rounded down to 11.
Jesus.
Uh-oh, guys, I'm almost at half HP.
I was gonna say, like, has that actually put a dent into you yet, or...
No, I've only taken about 90 damage so far this fight. I'm almost at half.
It's gonna keep walking while holding on to Roz, as it seems to be walking away from the circle.
Shit,
And
it's still got a
since
mission.
it's 2 o'clock, this would be a very good time for us to end tonight's session.